Hey guys. Well, it's been a while since I've done an update on the Nosen Mustang, and the reason for that is not only because I've been working on it, had the upstairs of my house carpeted recently, which meant all of the upstairs pretty much had to come downstairs. And when you live in a tiny house, it just makes it very difficult to move around, so the basement was kind of taken up for a while. But since my last video, I've been pretty busy. Guess we'll start off with got all the sheeting put on and cut out for the Robart retracts. Turned out really well. It's a little oversized in some areas. I kind of kept to the original lines that were already on the airplane. This isn't gonna. I'm not gonna detail this airplane very much. You know, it's not scale by any means. It's a very sports scale airplane. So I'm keeping that in mind while I'm redoing it. So I'm not gonna, pay too extreme close attention to details like making this exactly fit the wheel. I'm not worried about that. But yeah, that turned out really well. Once I got that done, I moved into the ailerons, got them refitted to the wing. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see I put in new hard points for the Robart hinges, both on the trailing edge of the wing and the lead edge of the aileron. So that way it gave me a good new solid location to put the hinges, and got those kind of fitted. They're not perfect. I didn't build this airplane, and I'm not going to put an extreme amount of effort in making it 100% perfect. It is what it is. It's just it's an old Bud Nosen Mustang, and I kind of want it to remain that way. Just want to make it look a lot nicer than it was when I got it. But I wanted to show you something real quick. As I mentioned before about getting this old covering off there, it took a lot of work, and I'll kind of show you one of the steps that you have to take in order to be successful at that. The flaps, I peeled off the covering. You can see that there's still, it looks like there's covering still on there. There isn't. There's the covering for the flaps. But this really old covering, I'm pretty sure this is probably covered with solar film. The clear peels right off, as you can see. But the color of the material is actually baked into the wood pretty much, so it does not come off willingly. So now that all the clear portion of the covering is off, what I've done is taken my special homemade sanding block. This is either I think this is a 40, either a 40 or 60 grit sanding belt that I just wrapped around this 2x4, and it is just a mean little monster. It makes carving and shaping extremely easy. But what I do is take that and kind of gently rub it over the area, and you can see it it cuts into that so you can kind of see a little piece of it right there. Just starting to flake up. Yeah, came right off. But it kind of cuts little grooves into the wood. So now when I take the lacquer thinner and some steel wool, basically I put a piece of steel wool right in the middle, soak it with lacquer thinner, and then kind of just spread it all over the surface, and then use the steel wool to basically rub all this out of there. Then I get this effect. So the wood is dirty. It's permanently that way. But, this is going to be glassed and painted, so it doesn't matter. But by cutting into it like that with the heavy grit paper, it makes it so that lacquer thinner can get right in there. And when I start going over it with the steel wool, it takes it right off, and it's almost effortless. See, this side's not going to be too bad. Most of the color came off with the clear. So just kind of a little, that's how I do it. Let's say this was a more modern, like a Top Flight Mustang that you bought like the ARF, and you want to strip it down and glass it and paint it. Brand new monocoat or ultra coat, whatever covering material you use, you'll be able to just score a line with your blade all the way across and literally just peel it right off. And you won't have any of this. It'll come right off. But because this has been on there so long, it's basically baked itself into the wood. So, top of the wing, you know, now that the ailerons and everything are on there, it's starting to look like an airplane. So, that's pretty awesome. Probably hear the background noise here. Whenever I'm down in the shop building, I like to go into my video library and plug in a video just for some background noise. This is an old Model Sport magazine, I think from 99 or 2000. So I always got these playing in the background. You know, reminisce with the past, as I like to do, as you all know. But yeah, they're fun to watch. So I'm going to get these cleaned up. Then I'm going to go in. You can see where the old Robart, not Robart, my bad, the Dubro nylon hinge was in there. There's a nylon pin hinge. I'm going to basically cut a square out right here, put in a new hard point where each of these hinges is already at. I'm going to do the same thing on the trailing edge. There's one there, one there, one there, one there, whatever. Put new hard points in there, drill them out for the Robart pin hinge, and that'll be good to go. Now once that's all said and done, I'm going to go over the entire wing with a lightweight filler, basically as just a spackle, kind of fill in the imperfections and sand it nice and smooth. Then I'll be ready for glass and move on to the fuselage. Can't honestly say I'm looking forward to it, but it's got to get done. Oh yeah, got a couple things in the mail today. We'll get into that later. Future projects. So as soon as I get the flaps fitted and everything pretty much done on the wing, I'll bring you back later.